What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Lakewood16, back with another video. And this time we're going to shift our focus onto Baruto, Next Generation for the Naruto series. For those that do not follow, Baruto is obviously the next thing after Naruto Shippuden. Takes about probably over 20 years and so, close to up to 20 years. Naruto is 33. Sasuke is around 34 and so on. And Baruto is a young ninja and he's currently 13 years old. So this is the Baruto chapter 67. As you can tell, this chapter to me wasn't too much fighting, but it was more so of a plot development. As Naruto, Baruto, Kawaki, and Shikamaru head back home to the Leaf Village. They're back home safely. Kawaki's obviously knocked out from that last attack he dealt with from Code with Damon, and he's in the hospital right now. And if we're touching back on, Code has invaded the village yet again. Actually, this is his first time invading the village, and he brings Ida with him. And if those that don't know who Ida is somebody, a cyborg that a model had created or somebody else has created. Cyborg, you can say, that you instantly fall in love with her the moment you see her, whether it's girl or guy. So that's the fun part about this thing. Her character is that it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you represent in gender, you will always fall into her trap just by looking at her. Now, you don't even have to approach her, and you can instantly fall in love. So right now, in the beginning of the chapter, not Naruto's version, but the Leaf Village version of Delta, who was originally defeated by Naruto in the previous arcs, it now is turned, I guess you can say, not good, but Amato changed her function into being protecting the Leaf Village. So she instantly stops from attacking Ida, and then as we go on, Ida tells her it's pretty much pointless, you can't really do too much, and then Delta just instantly just falls in love with her, and she doesn't even move anymore. And whatever Ida tells her to do, she automatically does. And what that does is, this is the first time Shikamaru has seen it before his eye, because he's confused and just baffled that somebody has this great of ability. Because I think it's a very OP ability, in my opinion, for the most part. But again, that's the story it's telling for right now. And then we skip to the part where Sasuke speaks to Baruto about after the recent events, tells Baruto that he apologized that he wasn't there to protect him from Momoshiki, from taking over his body completely. As in the last, I guess you can say in the last battle, Momoshiki completely took over Baruto. And with that being said, Baruto was no longer himself, and then Momoshiki started attacking Code, Naruto, and Shikamaru at the same time, and he's just completely to the point where he pretty much controls an entire percentage of Baruto's body, conscious and such. And Baruto, it's really hard for Baruto to have any control, like any at all. So the one moment he actually gained control of him, he told Kawaki, he pretty much said, "You know what to do," because this is something that they spoke about before in earlier chapters. And Kawaki pretty much had the courage and was brave enough to do it. He'll do anything he wants to protect Naruto, the seventh Hokage at the time. So he killed him. He actually does kill him. He kills Baruto. Completely uses attack to pretty much just go through his entire organs. And yeah, Baruto was dead on the spot. So with that being said, with Baruto being dead, Momoshiki having 80% of his body Otsutsukified, if I'm saying this correctly, was reincarnated. That he was 80% within his body of Baruto, which means he had 20% left over to completely take over Baruto's body. But he, however, used that 20% to use it to restore Baruto back to life. So this is where people might get confused. So Baruto now is officially himself, but he's alive again. But he's 100% Otsutsukified, which means he's an actual literal god in that sense, like Momoshiki is. But Momoshiki can no longer take over his body. We don't know. We have confirmation that he can take over his consciousness again, but he can no longer. He can never change. So Baruto will always remain intact, but we don't know any further development from that. So fasting forward to this, again, Sasuke apologizes to Baruto, and my thing is, I like the part where Sasuke admits that he wishes that he was there. I wish that we had saw Sasuke fight Code a bit. For those that don't know, Code's the last member of Kara, and that's who the Leaf Village is trying to destroy because they don't just want to get rid of that organization and cult altogether. So Baruto pretty much breaks down to Sasuke, telling him that he told Kawaki to do it because they're brothers and such, and they know must do what they have to protect the village and Naruto. So with that being said, um, we have a pretty much of a light moment where Sasuke tells Baruto he can keep his old headband, the one that Naruto scratched up during their first final battle when they were younger, in the final valley. So Baruto gets happy about that. I kind of like this moment myself. I think it was pretty cool to, I guess you can neutralize the seriousness in the moment. And for those that don't know, in the future, Baruto keeps that headband even when he's older, like around 16 or 17. And then Sasuke, later down the line, says that he will be showing his resolve. Not sure what that means. Not sure if saying like he's hands off now, gloves are off now, everything's like he's done playing it safe now, and he'll do what he must have to protect the village or Baruto. Whether that means Kawaki is he's seen as an enemy or he's seen as an ally. But again, in my perspective, Kawaki had the encouragement to do what the others and adults could not do to protect the village. It was the last resort. Even the other Kage spoke about it, but again, he did what he did for his brother to survive. As brutal as it may seem, he did what he had to do. So I personally, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I like the fact now that Baruto has consciousness of his body. But in regards to seeing Kawaki as an enemy, I can see it playing a part down the line for sure, but I don't. Something will happen because right now I think Kawaki is definitely OP, too much power, way too much power, and he's officially the strongest without what like strongest and Code with his limiters on, he's stronger than him, but we don't know how strong is Code without his limiters. He might even be stronger than Kawaki. So right now, I think Kawaki is pretty safe. Again, he had the courage to do what others could not do, and as brutal as it may seem, Sasuke did the same thing to Naruto. Even though the motive was different, Sasuke did do the same thing, but the motives were completely different. So I guess you can say Kawaki, I guess, safer in that opinion when Sasuke was just trying to remove his bond from Naruto. You guys can leave a comment down and tell me how you feel about that. For those that watch Baruto, I just personally think that I don't know. I feel like he's a good ally. I don't know how they're gonna go going forward. I don't know how Baruto's gonna feel and all that. So let's get back to the story. So Sarada and Mitsui, they're talking about what happened between Baruto and whatnot. And as Baruto says, he told him not everything because they have to keep it secret. Because if anybody finds out Kawaki killed him, it'll be a huge revolt in the village, and he will not be in the village. So, and for those that know, Mitsuki definitely will protect Baruto by any means necessary. And he even states that here in the manga that he doesn't really know what he would do if anybody would have come that close. And he sounded very serious about that. And you can tell by the bloodlust that I can see them fighting. I can see Mitsuki fighting Kawaki over that aspect if it ever got leaked. So I guess it could be a foreshadowing of something, a future fight in the future. Um, Sarda obviously is feeling backlash about it. You can tell that she cares about Baruto a lot, and she tells Mitsuki that they just need to get stronger so that things like that can no longer happen, and they won't be able to be at risk anymore, or Baruto won't be at risk without his friends or anything, and his complete team. Um, Pretty much this chapter has been again more people talking. People are chilled out, more settled. The storyline is kind of getting back to normal after the recent events, recent battles, so they're taking it easy for now. Again, you're getting more character, I guess, minor character development and what dialogue and such. And then Mitsuki pretty much I find that part pretty funny when he tells Sarda that he likes she likes him a lot, and then she starts to blush and such. But no, she said that no, like she wishes to protect him and such. So that was a pretty much good moment to see. Again, following from the past events. And then also Kawaki wakes up eventually. Naruto's by his bed. And just like when Kawaki first got into the village, Naruto was the first person that he's seen, right by his bed frame, bedside, and then they talk about it. And then Kawaki asks Naruto, you don't condemn me for killing Baruto." And then Sumari is there. She doesn't know anything about this, so she's completely in shock. And then Naruto pretty much tells Kawaki that like Baruto's still alive, so what you did was pretty much pointless. And then Kawaki stays quiet, but Naruto again pretty much defends Kawaki motives and for what he has done, because I guess all in all Kawaki did save everybody from Code. So Kawaki stays quiet, and then Naruto follows through and tells him how much he thinks he's family and how he's a brother to Baruto now. The same aspect of what Naruto did in the beginning, and I think it was a pretty good moment. I don't know how I feel about this. It seems like the writers are, I don't know, like I know Naruto's character development has been really good, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, like part of him should be defending his son, and I respect the fact that Kawaki did what he had to do, and he gives him props for that. But I can see it also causing some rift between the family. I'm not sure how they're going to go about it going forward, but I definitely think that things will not be the same. It's hard to see that. You killed somebody, but then I guess you guys can go back to being family again. Again, we respect the motive, but not everybody is going to accept that notion. You know, people in the village are not going to accept that. So I don't know how Himawari would feel, Baruto's sister, Hinata. Like, it's hard to accept that. It's hard to accept that a mother and a sister that Kawaki killed him after they gave him a home, even for if it was for Naruto's sake. Some people are like, oh, he didn't have any resentment or remorse to actually doing it. No, Kawaki straight up killed Baruto right on the spot with no hesitation. So I guess Naruto's saying all this stuff, but it seems like he's hesitant to actually give him discipline or anything. I don't think he really can give Kawaki discipline because Kawaki's gonna do what he wants. Because right now, currently, Naruto and Sasuke are no longer the strongest in the village. It is Kawaki at the moment, or I guess with Momoshiki's power in Baruto, if it's controlled, Baruto will also be the strongest. So that's really hard to say. But back to the story. Ino pretty much tells Naruto and Sasuke that Code has invaded the village with Ida, so Naruto gets interrupted. Sasuke hears this. He tells Baruto, "Come on, let's go," and they leave off right there with Baruto and Sasuke. As Sasuke tells Baruto, "The enemy's here. Let's go, make a move on," and then go back to Naruto and Kawaki, and then Naruto tells Sumari to wait up, calm down, stay here, and then Naruto leaves, and then Kawaki uses his eye, the eye that he obtained through his power of karma, so he's up to something, and then we go back to Ida, and then Ida staring right at Shikamaru. He does his shadow paralysis jutsu, doesn't work, but I guess it's different because this is not a harming jutsu. It's just it's a jutsu that nullifies your enemy's attack. So he's not really directly harming Ida. So she's pretty much telling Shikamaru, oh, I can actually speak to you now. That's completely different. Um, she recognizes and respects Shikamaru, and then Shikamaru obviously is fighting Ida's, I wouldn't say paralysis, but like lust for her and such. So Delta's completely in love with her at the moment, so Delta's not moving. Shikamaru's pretty much stopped, and he's fighting this thing within his mind. So he contacts Ino through her mind transfer jutsu, and tells her to connect him to Amato to figure out Amato. Hey, what's her jutsu? Why is she doing this? What's her ability? How do we counter this? And pretty much, Amato is pretty much terrified of her. So that's pretty much, and Amato wasn't really terrified of anybody else when he went to the Leaf Village. So that's pretty much telling you guys that this Ida's pretty much a big deal at this point. So Shikamaru's panicking right now, asking him like, hey, what do we do right now? How do we counter her? Like, and then Amato, again, what I said, confirmed that no matter what gender, Delta, nobody can escape the ability of her, that you will pretty much fall into her enchantment. So again, it's pretty good ability. I think it's another OP ability. Her brother Damon has the ability, if you were to strike him, let's just say somebody has intent to kill with whatever attack, the attack happens to that person trying to kill them. So that's crazy, in my opinion. I just think that's completely OP. So go back to Delta. Ida stares at Delta. Delta says she's so cute and such. Again, I like this ability. So it not only affects men, but affects women. So it's like nothing can work. So again, Shikamaru's panicking. It's like, yo, how do we deal with this? How do we go on about it? And as you fast forward, the paralysis jutsu starts to wear off, and Ida tells him to calm down. She has no intent to kill him, and she says, I actually respect you in a way because you're not doing anything, but you're fighting my jutsu. Not my jutsu, but my ability to this extent. Again, Shikamaru is continuously fighting this, but he pretty much ends up losing. Ko gets up as Ko's getting trapped by Shikamaru's jutsu, and then now Ko goes straight to Amato to remove his limiters. And then pretty much he threatens him, then he stabs him and says, come on, enough games, remove my limiters. So Shikamaru, being the brain person as it is, he pretty much tries to persuade Ida by telling her, hey, you want to get close to Kawaki, why don't you come over here and move to the Leaf Village, and if you work with us, I will show you Kawaki as much as possible. And he says, I have a proposition, would you like to do this and such? And because he knows that Ida loves, in a way, or likes Kawaki, she is in love with him. And she even opens up and says it, and she starts blushing about it. And again, Shikamaru, who's always 10 steps ahead, comes up with that preposition about it, and he tells her about it, and then pretty much try to persuade her to come to the Leaf Village. No longer work with Code, because that's the only reason why she was associated with Code, so she can get closer to Kawaki. So if she can go directly to Kawaki, she will have no use for Ko's ability or anything, because she doesn't care about that stuff. So Shikamaru, again, being this very analytical person, throws out that question and says, we can get you right with Kawaki. We don't even have to play the games of you having to maybe. No, we can take you straight to Kawaki and such. So chapter leaves off like that. And honestly, this chapter has been out for close to over a month now. I know I'm pretty late about this, but all in all, this chapter is really good. There's a few pointers. I like seeing Sasuke again. Very good to see him back in the story. Interested in seeing what he means by his resolve. I'm not sure he's saying, hey, let's do it. I'm no longer going to hold back for sake. I'm just very interested, and we should be close to the time skip part. For those who don't know, time skips like how Naruto did to Shippuden when they're older. This chapter is going on this is 67, 68 will be out on May 20th. So let me know what you guys think about this chapter. Let me know how you guys feel about this video. If you guys need me to approve, I know I'm working on getting more equipment for my channel again. And as I said, I'm going to be branching off with either anime, manga, other stuff that I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get myself back into this again. I'm excited about this, and thank you guys for even taking the time to watch this video. Again, if you have any suggestions or comments, please do not hesitate to reach me. I have an email. You just leave it in the comment section. I will be very lenient in responding back. All right, guys, this is Lakewood again, and have a good one.